Welcome to Culture Critics, where we unpack the cultural forces shaping our lives in real time. I'm Jackson, and today we'll be asking a big question. What has digital age done to faith? And is social media helping religious traditions evolve and reach more people, or is it undermining trust, spreading hate, and distorting sacred teachings? With me are two brilliant thinkers, Ethan and Emmanuel, religious professors at Sydney's University. Let's jump in. Let's start broad. Do we think the digital revolution has been good or bad for how we view faith?
I'll start. Honestly, I think it's had a mostly positive impact. The accessibility is incredible. You can be in a remote town and still join a live stream Shabbat service or tune into a Ramadan reflection on Instagram. It's opened doors for people who might otherwise be completely disconnected from their faith.
Sure, but the same tools that open doors can also let in poison. Remember Christchurch? That massacre was live streamed. Social media wasn't just a passive witness, it was a delivery system for terror.
Absolutely, but social media didn't invent that hate, it exposed it. The same platforms have empowered faith communities to connect, grow and challenge those hateful narratives. I came across a study by Dr. Mohammed Ibrahim that showed Islam's digital reach has grown substantially since the early 2000s. Muslims now make up nearly 2 billion people worldwide, and digital tools have helped make Islamic scholarship, prayer and community more accessible than ever.
But those positives are stripped swimming upstream. After the October 7 attacks, anti-Semitic comments on YouTube absolutely exploded. The algorithm doesn't care about your intentions, it cares about engagement, and hate gets clicks.
So we've got access and reach, but also a dangerous amplification of the extremes. The digital world has brought faith out of the temple and into the feed, but also made it vulnerable to distortion. On that note, how do you think we can make the digital space better?
First thing, stop being passive. If you see hate, say something. Don't just scroll past when someone posts an Islamophobic meme or an anti-Semitic joke. Report it, comment, and push back. Silence is complicity online.
Yes, and we need to go beyond reacting. We should also proactively spread the good. Share videos of interfaith collaborations. Highlight community projects where synagogues and mosques work together. I remember during COVID, there were stories of Jewish and Muslim leaders coordinating food drives. That's faith in action, and it deserves more airtime than the clickbait that gets all the attention.
So it's not just about calling out the bad. It's about creating and sharing better content and knowing how to spot dangerous stuff before it spreads. That's where real resistance begins. What I'm wondering is whether social media has been good or bad for the war against religious prejudice.
It's made them worse, undeniably. These forms of hate have always existed, but the speed and scale are entirely new. The Great Replacement theory was a fringe idea until social media gave it a platform. Now it's influencing real-world policy debates and violent movements.
The same goes for anti-Semitism. There's this steady dip of conspiracies about global finance, the media, even COVID. None of it's new though. But the way it's been repackaged for a digital audience, terrifying. And it's increasingly leaking out of extremist forums, with some of these Islamophobic and anti-Semitic ideas leaking out into mainstream media.
Exactly. And let's not forget how it plays out offline. In Australia, Islamophobic attacks have doubled in the last year. That's not a coincidence. It's the digital rage spilling over into real-world violence.
It's like the internet radicalizes by default. Even if you don't go looking for it, the algorithm nudges you towards more extreme content. You start watching a video on Middle East history and 5 clicks later, you're being shown propaganda.
So we're not just talking about bias, we're talking about infrastructure. A digital system that rewards hate with reach. Until that changes, the threat remains very real. We're seeing more and more voices in the religious space. So who do you think has the real power?
That's the million-dollar question. Traditionally, it was your local religious leader. Now, it's whoever shows up first in your feed. A TikToker with no credentials can reach more people than a scholar with decades of study. Visibility has replaced credibility.
And that's dangerous. The algorithm doesn't care if your theology is sound. It just wants to know if you're engaging. People are getting their beliefs shaped by influencers who have never opened a religious text.
It's frustrating. I know imams and rabbis who've essentially given up on Twitter because they can't compete with the outraged merchants. Meanwhile, misinformation spreads unchecked.
And for the average person looking for answers, it's overwhelming. You Google a question about your faith and you can get 10 contradictory answers, some thoughtful and some not so much. Who do you trust?
So what we're seeing is a breakdown of traditional authority, replaced by a chaotic, crowdsourced version of religion, where anyone can make their claim, and many do, irresponsibly.
Unless we rebuild trust in credible voices, faith in the digital age will remain unanchored.
Well, that's it for today. We've uncovered that it's clear social media hasn't just changed religion, it's transformed it. There's more access, more connection, but also more confusion, distortion, and danger.
The tools are powerful. It's on us, faith leaders, educators, everyday users, to make sure they're used wisely.
And it's on the platform too. Until they take responsibility, the harm can continue.
Thanks for listening. If you took one thing from this episode, let it be. Digital faith spaces need the same care, ethics, and reflection that we give to any other sacred space. Until next time, stay critical, stay kind, and question everything.